Hi everyone, so I'm here today with another honest review for you, and today's review is going to be about this product right here, which is the Maybelline, let me change the lid the right way around because I'm disorganised, the Maybelline SuperStay Full Coverage 24-Hour Foundation. It's what I've got on my skin right now, and I'm going to just read you the claims first and then let you know my opinion on it. So, they say that it's SuperStay 24-Hour Full Coverage Foundation completely corrects visible flaws and imperfections, making it the perfect base for a high-impact makeup look. Relentless, all-day wear, lightweight, high pigment coverage, flawless transformation. Suitable for all skin types, soft matte finish, coverage full, all-day wear. And in terms of the shade ranges, they've got Maybelline are quite good with their shade selection. I think they've got like 12 to 14 shades, which is very good for a drugstore brand, and they do go quite dark, which I think is amazing as well. But what do I think of this foundation? So first of all, let me just say that I have got very oily skin, so that's something to bear in mind. It's not that I specifically look for a full coverage foundation, but especially during the cooler months, I like a little bit of coverage in certain areas of my face, so especially around my chin area. I don't like much coverage on my nose, but around my chin and kind of the centre of my face, I do like a lot of coverage. And my first thing in this was trying to get the right shade. I did find a little bit tricky because they didn't have many samples available in Boots or in Superdrug, and both my Boots and Superdrug are quite big, and I struggled to find the shade. I ended up going with 21 Nude Beige, but if you're trying to trace it to be the same as other Maybelline shades, I didn't find that they all kind of were exactly the same shades and exactly the same tones within all the colours, so that's something to bear in mind. But yeah, definitely I'm shade 21 Nude Beige. I'm saying this because in every foundation video I do, even though I always say what shade I am, it seems to kind of somehow get lost and people always ask, so shade 21 Nude Beige. The price of this is $9.99, which is a little bit expensive, but it's okay for a drugstore foundation, I suppose. I like the packaging of it. It's got this kind of white lid, which I think looks quite chic. It's similar packaging to the Revlon Nearly Naked foundation. Do you remember that? That was a really good foundation. But it comes with a pump, which is very good. The pump's white as well. And the thing I like the most about this foundation is I think the finish it gives is really pretty. But I think the reason it's able to give this finish is because it is quite a silicone-y texture. And if you can see on my skin right now, it does look very perfected. In terms of being full coverage, you can definitely build it. I don't build it. I like just sort of one layer and that's fine. I put concealer under my eyes and I'm good with that. That's the amount of coverage that I would need. But I'm all up in your face, aren't I? But it's because I want you to see it. I'm also like leaning back on my chair and stuff, like leaning forward on my chair. But the finish of it is really pretty. I don't know how well kind of it's coming off on camera, but it's definitely a velvety matte finish. Doesn't look powdery, but it has got that siliconeness to it. So if I just pump some on the back of my hand, I definitely recommend you go in store and try and kind of put some on the back of your hand and just see what the texture's like for yourself. That's a lipstick swatch there. But you can see here, it's one of those products that you kind of have to rub in quite well. It actually works very nicely. What is that? A car alarm right now? Dude, I'm filming. Like, I'm just going to carry on and pretend like I can't hear it. Seriously, people. Whatever. What was I saying? Okay, good, stop now. I can concentrate. Yeah, the texture of it is very... Oh, I started again. Ooh. The texture of it is very unusual. It has quite a lot of kind of slip to it. You can apply it with your hands and it works quite nicely. It also works very nicely if you apply it with a buffing brush. I didn't find it applied too well with the Beauty Blender because it's a little bit thick, a tiny bit thick. And when you try and kind of buff it in, it's almost... it's not liquidy enough. Now my phone's ringing. This is just... now I'm back. It's actually a little while later because I was on the phone for quite a while on a work call. But it's actually brightened up a lot now, so the lighting's a bit better, so that's something at least. But I'm just going to wrap it up by saying that I really like this foundation. I would give it a 7 out of 10. Longevity is pretty decent. I do need a blot and a powder probably around midday, probably another one sort of late afternoon, but my skin's very oily. If you haven't got oily skin, you'll be okay. And it is one of those foundations that I actually think, even if you have got quite dry skin and you're usually put off by things that are long wearing and it's kind of more looks like an oily skin foundation, don't be, because it's that kind of matte but not flat, very flattering finish, doesn't pick up on kind of anything like that. The only thing I will say about this that I have noticed is it does definitely benefit from like a pore filling primer. I've got very large pores in the centre of my face, and it definitely benefits from something like the Benefit Professional. My hair, underneath it, because it can sort of sit in your pores a little bit, but not anything to write home about. It just does benefit from that a little bit. I mean, I've got that on now and you can't see them at all. It looks really, really pretty, but as you can see, it didn't cover up my pigmentation completely, but it's good enough for me. Good, dependable, everyday foundation. Nice in the winter months when you want a bit more coverage, but you don't necessarily want to be completely mattified if your skin's a bit drier as well during the cooler months. So yeah, definitely recommend it.